Spires and Magic, Rise of Spider-Man by Maximus Reborn, Chapter 7, Shades of the Past, Part 2. The monster you've dared to face is a doozy, for the sense would leave you feeling woozy. The Hydra is a frightening sight at first glance. Run now, but you soon have the tons, the zebra said, causing Peter to tilt his head to the side. Heck of a time to bust out a rhyme, don't you think? Spider-Man said, before the Hydra lashed out at the pair, forcing Peter to grab the zebra and jump onto the branch of a tree. As he placed her down, Spider-Man gazes back to the attacker. You'll be safer here, Mr. Zebra. I'll try not to take too long. As he reached out and attempted to protest, but Spider-Man already jumped back into the fray, bounding from one tree branch to the next. Peter found his great agility still intact. One of the Hydra heads found him and attempted to jump down his frame, but Spider-Man leaped as high as he could, causing the beast to chew on a tree instead. The second head lunged out. Hopefully it would strike his prey in midair. I used to think Equestria was safe compared to New York, but after dealing with a couple of dragons and you, I'm willing to take back what I said. Spider-Man said, covering his body just enough to avoid the Hydra's bite. As he landed on the crown of the third, clueless head of the Hydra, Spider-Man shrugged his shoulders. So before you damage my view of this nice place, how about we leave the nice zebra alone and go back to Disney to fight Hercules? The fourth head lashed out to bite the bantering pest. When Spider-Man leaped out of the way, he wound up accidentally headbutting the third head. The second kept his eyes locked on Spider-Man and threw his claws in a slash attempt. Peter's spider's sense warned him of the incoming attack, allowing him to dodge the majority of the danger. Fortunately, the Hydra still continued to slice through the costume, giving Peter a small gash across the back. Hey, watch it! Try not to trash the new costume! Spider-Man said, before the Hydra's tail came around, swatting him out of the air and through a tree. Mrs. Body rolled to a stop. Spider-Man placed himself over his forehead to stop his mind from spinning. While you're at it, try not to trash me too much badly either. As the Hydra stomped in his direction, Peter shifted his gaze to his true front host. Forces looked far down. I think it's about time I test out the new web shooters. If my calculations are right, web slinging will be even easier than it was back when I had fingers. But if I'm wrong, on breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a midnight snack for the Hydra brothers. First and second Hydra heads lounged down towards Spider-Man with their fangs drawn, but they galloped forward underneath their body until the third head attacked from the side. Using all his strength, Spider-Man backflipped over the Hydra's body at the last moment. However, looming over him like the sun would be the fourth head of the Hydra, while its mouth wide, rapidly descended, ready to swallow Peter whole. This is one heck of a field test! Come on, Parker! He closed his masked eyes and extended his two front hooves. Time was of the answers as the Hydra's house head. Just flick your wrist hard enough and... Immediately following his instructions, a strand of webbing shot out the bottom of each hoof, sticking to the underside of the Hydra's jaw. Spider-Man swung out of the harsh way. Fourth Hydra wound up headbutting the third in the process. Peter released his webbing and landed on a nearby branch, laughing out loud as it constantly went, Ha! It actually worked! Not having fingers isn't all bad, is it? He said confidently before whimpering loudly. That was too close enough for comfort. I'll stick to practicing with Twilight from now on. Tilting his eyes back to the Hydra, Spider-Man shook his head. Before my luck runs out, let's finish this! All four of the Hydra heads recollected their senses and gave the red and blue-clad pony a glare. The clumsy wanted to grip one down, but Spider-Man flipped overhead and lashed a strain of webbing onto the back of its head. Once he landed with the string still attached to his hoof, the remaining heads attacked. Spider-Man jumped over the first head, rolled underneath the second, and stopped the third snarling mouth shut before running over his head, all the while dragging the fourth along for the ride. After the strand stretched limits reached, Spider-Man noticed back and found the Hydra had a tangled mess. All the necks were looped around, over, and under each other, prompting every head to give Spider-Man an embarrassed glare. Intent to stagger in its direction, but as soon as the sense of direction was tangled also, the Hydra stumbled clumsily about before it teetered over the edge of the cliff and fell to the waters below. Captain America, eat your heart out, Spider-Man said as he trotted over to the edge of the cliff. Found all four of the Hydra's heads looking up at him, still tangled. Nothing personal, pal, but a big guy like you shouldn't be picking on a little zebra. That's bullying, and bullying rubs me the wrong way. If I catch you do it again, I'll tie your necks up Indian style. Taking his words to heart, the Hydra turned and began to descend to the depths of the lake. The three of the heads carried a stern glaze, but the clumsy one peeked up at Spider-Man, closed his eyes, and stuck out his tongue before it vanished from sight. Zebra walked next to Spider-Man, gave him a warm smile. At first I believed you were playing a game, but now I see you are the real Spider-Man. Thank you for your heroic deed, but needless to say, I was in great need. She said, her voice deep and firm. Spider-Man chuckled. You're still rhyming? You don't even have a rhyme for everything. If so, what rhymes with orange? My life would be complete if you know the answer. Well, as a gentle breeze proved to be a great inconvenience for Pierre. Wind brushed across his back, causing him to yelp in pain. Forgot that sleeper makes me pretty good. Luckily, it's just a scratch, though. Zebra's eyes shot open. She tried over to Spider-Man, placed her hoof on his shoulder, and inspected his wound closely. Unfortunately, her fears came to fruition once sooner than she had hoped when Spider-Man's limp body fell, crashed to the ground. His body trembled as ice covered his coat. A second thought, the zebra slid her head underneath Peter's unconscious frame until he was slumped across the back and rushed off into the depths of the evergreen forest. Twilight shuffled through the books scattered across the room. Couldn't quite run to a merry mess at this point. Reorganization was an imminent future. She was growing angry, knowing it was her own fault. She had been so distracted with her new roommate, she had fallen behind her own personal studies. Not to mention, Twilight had been spending her spare time researching for any information regarding the dragon that attacked the village, anything new about Discord, any sort of way to strengthen her element of harmony, and a possible way to return Peter to his own world. Her fell to the table with a smack. So much to look at once. With a single question, Twilight had to press through. However, she continued to find only solutions that raised more questions than answers. Twilight swung her hoof in frustration, knocking over a stack of books. It's been a week and I've found absolutely nothing, she said, writing her host's slightly wrinkled mane. It's time you think this is hopeless. Her violet eyes shifted to the other side of the room, where a book sat on a pedestal. Her thoughts ran while images of Pierre in his pre-pony form flashed in her mind. That very book was the reason why Pierre was in Equestria. She left the table and made her way over to the pedestal. Her horn sparkled, causing the book to open, but Twilight sighed inwardly, for the pages were now blank. Since the summoning, the book's pages went blank for an unexplained reason. Twilight checked on the book every day, hopeful the change was temporary, but so far the information within the book refused to return. The most logical explanation was as long as Pierre remained in Equestria, the book used to remain would remain blank. However, without the original spell, there was no way for Twilight to return Pierre home. There had to be an alternative. There must have been. Twilight bit her lip and focused all her energy into her horn. Maybe she concentrated hard enough, she could restore the book back to its former state. Sparks fell as her horn grew brighter. She opened one of her eyes and found a passage forming on the cover of the book. Her brow furrowed, for it was not what was written there before. The tragic tale of the greatest hero, Twilight read aloud before her horn shorted out. The book fell from the pedestal, but the magical energy from Twilight's horn still enveloped it. Using her own magic, Twilight levitated the book from the ground and placed it back on the pedestal. The cover still displayed its new title, sending a wave of uncertainty through Twilight. Why had the book changed so suddenly? She felt tempted to read it, but for all she knew, the spell waiting to misfire. Best leave it for now, she said, trying her best to ignore the thoughts in her head that suggested otherwise. I can't just leave it. At the very least, I should make sure nothing's wrong. Twilight lifted her upper body and used the pedestal to maintain her balance. Inhaling deeply, the mare held her breath as she opened the book. Once a few minutes passed with no recurrence, Twilight let a released sigh and turned to the first page. Violet eyes widened at the passage forward on the previously blank paper. Spider-Man is a hero destined to do great things. So I want to summon him here and let you hear my tale. You may find a way to bring him back home, but I assure you, it would be best for him to stay with you. When he comes back, I'm afraid his life will only be filled with more tragedy, until it will destroy him. Twilight's brow furrowed. Before you send him home, please hear this tale. It all started with his first great mistake. Uncle Ben. I swear to Celestia, if you're giving an Uncle Ben flashback! Pierre let out a groggy groan. His head spun out like an uncontrolled race car, trying to force himself back up, but a hoof fell on his chest and gently forced him back down. A large pair of turquoise eyes stared at him from overhead, but he immediately recognized the zebra's striped coat and mane. Pierre glanced out to the side, spying all kinds of tribal relics scattered across the wall, along with pots filled with various plants. It's good to see you all awake. The antidote you needed was difficult to make. Place from the Hydra is nearly neater. so I had to go out on a herb retrieval. She said as a smile formed on her face. I must admit your recovery is extremely fast. Very reminiscent of one Rainbow Dash. I'm just happy the Hydra's cause from Sapa. Don't you agree, Peter Pony Parker? Peter's eyes shot open. In shock, he stumbled over the edge of the table and fell flat on his back, causing him to bark out in pain. Suddenly, a soft fabric fell over his eyes. But his shock only grew when he used his hose to remove the clothing, only to find it was a Spider-Man costume. Glanced down at his closest form and shot a wide-eyed glance at Zecora. Okay, I understand the whole stripping me down so you can treat my wounds thing, but how the heck do you know my name, Miss Zebra? He asked, taking a defensive stance. She said nothing right away, but instead peeked down and slid her hoof underneath the mask that rested on the hoof. You spoke it several times while you dreamed, so I know that's the name when you are most dreamed. She walked up to Peter Parker and opened over the mask, smile intact. And to most, I am an Anna, but to my friends, I am Zecora. I talked about myself in my dreams. Am I a narcissist or something? He said to the mask and finally allowed himself to smile back. Sorry about my behavior a second ago. I thought you were a mind reader for a second. Zecora made her way across the room until she reached Peter's backpack. I may not be a telepath, but I'm aware of your good path. It is because of my friend Twilight that I know Peter Pony Parker saw that. Peter's jaw fell open. Did I talk about her too? You did in your dreams, but only a little. But she told me more about you. Like how you caused Rainbow Dash skittered. His brow furrowed. You're Rainbow Twilight? You two must be friends. Did she tell you about Spider-Man? That's gotta be a well-kept secret. Zecora shook her head before she lifted her backpack for her teeth. She placed it down in front of Peter. Her large blue eyes met brown irises. Twilight is a dear friend of mine. To this day we share tea. Many a secret is safe, for she did not spin. I had to learn your secret using my own skill. Scratching the back of his head, Peter could only shrug his shoulders and place his costume in his backpack. She's pretty wise. Reminds me a lot of Madam Web, actually. If Madam Web was younger, taller, cuter, and a zebra. He sighed eagerly. Hey, Zecora, do you think it's okay if you keep my identity a secret? I'd like to avoid the extra attention if I could keep it. She smiled. Your secret is safe with me. To that I can easily agree. A smile vanished suddenly, as if a dark thought came to her mind. I'm afraid we need to speak of an important matter, because if we don't, your heart will certainly shatter. In your sleep you spoke of many terrible things. I have a feeling you've endured many of them like wasp stings. Oh, please, God, don't tell me I... She placed her hoof on his shoulder and offered a sympathetic look. Your heart carries so much grief. If you simply talk to your friends, you may find relief. I will not pry, but I insist you give it a try. Guilt is overwhelming when it is grown, but I assure you will not face it alone. Whenever you are ready to open your heart, seek me out. It will be most smart. This is ridiculous. Now I'm whining in my sleep. Problem's my own. I'm not going to drag anyone down with me. Sighs whining in the late realization. Idiot, I forgot about Applejack. She's probably worried sick about me. Better find her and apologize before it gets too late. However, Zecora's words drifted over his mind like the sun piercing darkness. He admitted that a part of himself wanted to talk about his problems with his new friends, but his guilt wouldn't allow him to do something so selfish. It was one thing to worry himself, but it would never cause others grief for his sake. If anything, it'd be best if he just ignored these urges to talk. That would be the easiest thing to do. Peter used his teeth to zip his bag up and gingerly slipped it over his shoulders, trying not to aggravate the gas on his back. Sorry, Zecora, but I can't do that. Tempting offer, but no deal. I like my new friends too much to bug them with my problems. Thanks for passing me up, though. Try not to run into any more Hydras if you can help it. Peter stopped in his tracks and placed his hoof underneath his chin. I'm no Harry Potter, just Peter Pony Parker. Now, before it gets darker, I must make a departure? Zecora closed her eyes, sticking her head inwardly into close rhyme, but she offered him a smile, giving him her best wishes in a form of silence. As she left the hut and ran off his forest, Zecora stole a glance at a small, empty pipe that rested next to the pier previously slept. Some of its contents remained, but the majority had been assessed in his sleep. Zecora closed her eyes and sighed. Sorry for my horrible deed, but I know you'll soon be in need. I know you have not made this clue, but I promised the truth-sayer what I gave her only happy pizza. I'll be waiting for your return. You not hate me, but this is a trial you must learn. That wasn't weird. That wasn't weird at all. Hydra? Nah, that was pretty normal. Zecora, on the other hand, reminds me too much of Man Web. I was like cryptic. What's with the rhyming? She's like a lot of trouble to end every sentence in a rhyme. Peter jumped over a chump and suddenly felt something slip his mind. Being lying if I said she wasn't cute in an exotic way, though. She's pretty wise, a little on the tall side. I'll go back and hang out with her next chance whoa, what am I thinking about? Peter said, snapping his hair while locked. Why did I just... Peter, put it... I am getting tired of saying that! The voice echoed across the forest, sent the chills to Peter's spine. He said in a terror. I looked at his face when he saw Applejack gobbling in full speed in his direction. The glare she bore was feminine enough, poised Peter again from a distance. On the ground, hopeful the pony wasn't too upset. Proved to be safe was inspired, since warned him of danger approaching. Raised a hoof a weak protest attempt, only to be stampeded to the ground. As the Hydra just ran through, Peter struggled to get a grip on his reins. However, a pair of hooves pulled him up. Before he could react, Applejack slammed his forehead against his, nearly knocking him unconscious. I think you're looking for me? He said in a slur before a disturbing sight brought him back to reality. Tears slid down Applejack's freckled face as her glare softened her worried gaze. E.T., are you crying? The blonde slid her hoof across her tear-stained cheeks and wiped them clean. Please! What entire life were you thinking? Running all by yourself into the air-free forest! That's so stupid! Applejack reared her hoof back, ready to strike Peter seamlessly, but he only sighed and patted the pony over across the face. Peter's eyes widened at the girl's behavior, as he fronted to the forest looking for him. Only been friends for a week, but Applejack went out of her way to see if he was okay. His guilt resurfaced. In his pity party, he caused the pony a quick form of grief. His lips curled in a sad smile. I'm sorry, A.J. I had a lot on my mind. Didn't want to worry you. Well, congrats! You worried the hay out of me, you little stunt! Applejack said, pushing Peter slightly, and healing deeply. Partner, since it's on your mind, you can tell me. After all, ain't that what friends are for? Knowing your words were true, Peter only nodded. While he was still adjusting to Equestria, he still carried all the baggage he had at home. If Hazard's promise on others was selfish, but making him worry over nothing was worse. Like earlier, he felt compelled to talk to Applejack what was on his mind, especially the matter concerning Gwen. It was stronger this time. His entire being was egging him on to open up. Peter managed to resist the temptation, but glanced back to the ever-free forest and smiled inwardly. Not today, Zecora, but soon, I promise. How many chapters? Peter turned back to Applejack and scratched the back of his head. I'll make a note of that, E.T. Promise not to run off like that again. He chuckled sheepishly. Just stop crying. Cute girls should never cry. His eyes shot open. Dude, you said it out loud? Dude, this type of thing's happening? Are you losing it? Unfortunately, he couldn't dwell his words for long. Applejack giggled and gave the cold, quietly wink. Well, cute fellow shouldn't be running off. You just know you owe me, Pete. Now come on. Twice probably words think about you. Lantern probably turned Peter to follow. The pair made their way back to Ponyville. So what do I owe you exactly? He said, earning a kick from the side from Applejack. See, Wink, I'll be sure to let you know. And ever since that day, Spider-Man swore to uphold his uncle's saying. With great power comes great responsibility. That's why I said, trying your best to choke back her growing tears but failing miserably. But to this day he refuses to forgive himself for what happened to his uncle. I do not want him to return, not with his heart so heavy with grief. If you have the strength to continue reading, please remember the tale of Gwen Stacy. The door opened downstairs, causing Twilight Slam to look up abruptly. She lifted her arms pestle, found Peter at the bottom of the stairs with a smile on his face. However, as if her mind had left her body, Twilight tried downstairs. And before Peter could respond, she rubbed the side of her head against his cheek affectionately, uttering a bad stammer out of the cult. Twilight, did I message something? He struggled to say, his face missing a shade of crimson. A lovely scent poured into his nostrils, only adding to his struggle. You smell nice, by the way. His thought screamed, what in the name of all that saying is wrong with you, Parker? Finally coming back to his senses, Twilight's eyes shot open before she stepped away from Pierre. Her cheeks burned with embarrassment. How could she have acted so silly? That's what I want to know. She just read about his personal life. Twilight felt sorry for Pierre. I didn't see his effect as he invaded his personal space and peeked into his secrets, both without his permission. Shaking her head madly, Twilight placed her hoof over her mouth and cleared her throat. Sorry, Pierre. I just... happy to see you. You've been gone all day. I was worried, she said rather forcefully. Luckily, the moment seemed to have flown over his head. Pierre shrugged his shoulders and smiled lightly. Well, if I didn't know better, I see you were quite bored without me. Quite the contrary. I managed to get quite a bit of work done today. You weren't here to distract me at all, she said, grinning right after. Her eyes were absolutely horrible, and any pony with a brain could see right through them. However, Pierre was still oblivious, only responding by collapsing on a couch that had been grown to become his bed. Twilight thanked Celestia for her roommate's dense nature, and closed the room to the door where his pencil book rested. So we read more of that at a later time. Right now, all she wanted to do was talk with Pierre and ease his mind. How was your day, by the way? Twilight said as she placed her flank on the end of the couch, where Pierre's lower hose rested. She smiled at his resting form. Tell me everything. His eyes closed, Pierre steadily drifted off to the dream world. However, he knew Twilight was with him, so he tried his best to delay the trip for as long as possible. Got my costume back and talk to your friend Zecora. Oh, and I fought a Hydra today. You got poisoned. Pierre's thoughts groaned. Oh, thanks, so you happen to tell me you didn't just... You did what? As the unicorn scrolled in oblivion, Pierre's mind could only dread the incoming future. At this rate, if the dragons and ponies didn't kill him soon, his blabbermouth would.